Good morning. Welcome to Member Focus Monday. My name is Christina Schaefer, the social media manager for HAR. I'm joined this morning by Nathan Goebel. This is actually Nathan's second time to join us, but Nathan, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me back.
Absolutely. And if you wouldn't mind just doing a quick introduction of who you are.
I am the project manager for the MLS at HAR. I have been with HAR for just over 15 years, and I serve as the liaison to our third parties for all software development.
Awesome. Thank you. And again, thank you so much for being here this morning. And we know you're a busy man. So we're focusing this morning on reverse prospecting, which is a new feature in Matrix that was released just recently.
Yep.
If you could just tell us a little bit about it. What is reverse prospecting?
So reverse prospecting is the reverse of what selling agents use to find listings for their buyers. It allows listing agents to take their listings and match them against buyer's agents' custom searches, or auto emails as they're called in Matrix, and identify matches. Now, it's completely anonymous, so it won't show the buyer's name, it won't show the buyer's email address or any of their private information that you have on your contact. All it's going to show is a reference number that matches the buyer to the buyer's agent so that you can email them with a contact.
Okay, that's awesome. So you kind of mentioned the agents there. So how does this actually benefit listing agents?
So for listing agents, it gives them the ability to, as soon as they make their listing live, it's probably the best time to use it, is they make the listing active, then they can immediately go and do reverse prospect, and it's going to show them all of the potential agents who have matches to their listing, and they can email that agent directly, even faster than potentially an ASAP or a daily email, to prod them to say, hey, I've got a new listing. It seems to match one of your clients' criteria for their price, whatever they're looking for, and allows them to be proactive instead of waiting for the searches on the other side to yield results for them.
Or waiting and wondering, you know, is the buyer's agent looking at it? Is the client looking at it? Right? Okay. So what about selling agents?
So for selling agents, one of the benefits is, you know, say you set up an auto email for your client and they claim that they're active on the client portal, but maybe they're not as active as they think they are. And so with the reverse prospecting, it can actually show you if the client's seen the listing before. If they viewed it, it'll show them when they viewed it or how many times they viewed it. If they haven't viewed it at all, then for the selling agent, it gives them an opportunity to maybe highlight that listing and say, hey, I noticed you haven't looked at this listing. We got an inquiry from the listing side. Maybe we should take a look at this property and see if it interests them or not.
Awesome. So it's been a couple weeks since it was released. What has the feedback been from our members that have been using it?
Well, the feedback has been mostly positive. The listing agents are very happy with it because they now have a tool and to do just what buyer's agents have had for, you know, since Tempo was released. There's never been a feature like this for listing agents. So they're happy to see, you know, it actually shows them how many people they've contacted, and it gives them almost a contact list to contact. As far as the selling agents, you know, there's been a little bit of negative feedback, and that's because they're not used to being contacted by listing agents. They're used to doing all the contacting. So there's a little bit of rub there. The one thing that a selling agent would have to keep in mind is that, unlike spam, this is like a targeted email. It's using actual information that says this is a bona fide match based on what you have entered. And so while they may get more emails than they're used to, this is not the same as those people that send out a blast email to their entire email distribution list of 10,000 emails and says, I've got a new listing. This is, I've got a new listing and one of your clients matches.
Okay. And just to clarify, the buyer's agent does have to have the auto notifications set up, correct, for them to.
So say you only have a custom search as opposed to an auto email. Custom search doesn't actually run and send anything to your client. That's not used in reverse prospecting. If you were to go into the configuration, you would see there's not even an option to opt out your custom search because it's not used. Whereas your auto email, as a selling agent, you can opt out the individual search, or if you want to opt out the client, you can opt the client out of reverse prospecting entirely.
Okay. Well, very cool. So what we're going to do now, Nathan's actually going to do a quick demonstration for us so that we can see what this looks like. Do you want to see
screen 5?
Screen 5. All right. There we go. And I'm just going to scoot on over so you can.
So once you've logged into Matrix, you have two ways that you can easily access reverse prospecting. You can either hover your mouse over My Matrix and click on My Listings, And the two features under show that actively use reverse prospecting is my active listings and my hit counters. And so if you're under my active listings and you select one of your listings, an option becomes available here to reverse prospect. One thing to note is this system is meant to only look at one listing at a time. So if you were to click 2 listings, you'll see reverse prospect grays out and is no longer available. If you have 1 listing, it is available. The other way to access reverse prospecting is from the My Listings widget and clicking on My Active Listings. So if we select the listing and now click on reverse prospect, this listing is now going to show me all the matches that match this 512 Cypress Avenue property. So you can see here's the agent. Here's the reference number. This is the only thing that refers to the contact that this person has. It doesn't give any other information. This information over to the right all belongs to the selling agent. That's their email address, their office name, and their direct phone number is registered in the system. If you look at the columns on the top, the other columns that have importance is this envelope one. If you're a listing agent, what this does is it shows you if you've contacted that person before for this listing through reverse prospecting. The next column shows the count, and this lets you know, based on that person's search, how many matches it currently has. So the lower the number of matches, the higher it could be that it could be a viable lead because there's not much for that buyer to see. As you get lower down, this is sorted by the match count. If you're at 1,200, there's a sea of listings that matches that client's. And then the last thing that you'll see here is the date sent. So that lets you know when the lead or when this listing was sent to that client. So this was sent on October 14th. And this one showing you with any of the client activity, this will tell you if they've saved it as a favorite, a possibility, or a not interested. And so that's what the listing side will see. If you click on the name, that then takes you to sending an email inquiry to them. And so you could, it default puts in this information here for the listing. You can type your message and include your signature and hit send. And then this would send a lead to your client. And now I'm going to show you the other side of that, which is.
So take that one down.
I'll let you drive.
Okay. There we go. That's right over here.
Okay. So as the selling agent, when you receive the inquiry from reverse prospecting, it's going to make you log into hr.com and then go into Matrix because the information's all inside of Matrix. Once you're in there, it's going to then load the listing, show you the basic information. It's going to show you your contact's name, what auto email it may have, when they last visited the portal, when this match was sent to them, if they've ever viewed it, and how many times they've viewed it. This way you can get a feel for whether you even want to respond to that reverse prospecting. If you have it saved as not interested, then you already know that your client has already filtered this out. If they have it saved as a favorite, it may be an opportunity to circle back and say, hey, they're reaching out to us. Do you want to take a look at this house again or take the next step? So that's the selling side.
Okay. And where is this found in
this part?
Matrix? Yes,
this part would be from the email you would receive.
Okay.
So you'd receive an email from reverse prospecting. You'd click on that email link, and what would happen is it would open up hr.com to log in and then go into Matrix, and it would automatically take you to this page. It would land on it straight from the email after you've logged in.
Okay. So we can just ice this. Thank you for that. That's really helpful to be able to just actually see what we're talking about as opposed to just talking about it. Okay, so we do have, looks like some questions from our members that are watching. So if you have questions for Matrix, basically your name should be Matrix. I'm just kidding. If you have questions for Nathan about Matrix, whether it's just specifically reverse prospecting or if it's just a Matrix question in general, please go ahead and type that in, and we will take a look at that. Nathan is the bomb. Paul said.
Thanks, Paul.
So Rebecca asked, will this be available after the session? Yes, it will. You'll be able to see the full video on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel. Okay. So somebody's watching from the Philippines. That's really neat. All right, Heidi, you're the best. Okay. So Anissa said she's been using it for a couple weeks now and she loves it. All right. So here we go. What is unsubscribe rules for reverse prospecting? Excuse me. I'm a listing agent and used it. Had a selling agent email me that she wanted to be removed. I should have an unsubscribe an email.
Well, you really know because it's not an email. It's an email from inside the Matrix system to another user of the Matrix system. So there isn't going to be no complete blanket unsubscribe. What you can do as a selling agent is you can go. Actually, I will demonstrate that real quick. Bring up that screen.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me hide her question real quick.
Okay. And need to switch tabs to the incognito. There we go. So if you are a selling agent and you have a client and you don't want to be notified, let me go to make this easier to emails. And you click on one of your prospects, you can individually opt out through the settings. You can opt out a specific email if you want to, down here at the bottom, by show this contact and reverse prospecting results. Or if you go to your contacts and you want to opt a client out entirely, you can click on them and hit edit contact. And there's an option here that says enable reverse prospecting. If you uncheck that box, any of their auto emails that are running will not be considered in the reverse prospecting feature.
All right, great. All right, let's see what else we have. There's a spelling error. We can check on that. Thank you for...
I verified. Enquiry is actually the correct with the E. I thought it was misspelled as well. And because it's showing a lead of information, inquiry with an E is actually the correct spelling.
Okay. So Angela asked, can we select all selling agents? For example, if I have a price change, I can email all agents with one email message.
At the moment, there is not. We have asked our vendor if that's even a possibility. The way reverse prospecting was built was just to do a one-to-one. So at this time, that's not possible.
Okay. So Lori was asking, where was the widget?
So the widget is My Listings, and depending on your home screen, you have to remember everyone's home screen can be set up differently. You may or may not see My Listings by default. And if you don't, you'll have to go to the additional and pull it back out or show it. But it's the My Listings widget.
All right. Rebecca is saying this is great info. Thanks. All right. I don't see any other questions. Oh, hold on. Okay. So Nathan, if you could, this was a really great demonstration. And you guys, like we said, we can watch this back from the beginning. It'll be, as soon as we finish, it'll be up on our Facebook page, so you can watch the whole thing all over again if you'd like. It'll also be on our YouTube channel. Are there any other places where they can get some information or resources or anything like that?
Well, aside from what we've shown here, which actually goes into more detail than the article we published, there is a link from the homepage under the news that says reverse prospecting was launched. And then from there, you can click and see the article that actually had steps from both the listing side to send an email and from the selling side to opt out, with direct screenshots of where to take to go to do those actions.
Okay. So Anissa kind of was also just commenting with what Angela said with the send to all instead of individuals.
We've received several responses of that.
Absolutely. So Carly's asking, how far back would you suggest that we send emails? I have a listing that has had agents save it for over a month. Would you send it to one agent and that saved it a month ago?
And I mean, I guess it depends on what you're trying to achieve from your listing. If you're looking to generate new possible leads or circle back, then yes, I would. If the property hasn't sold and they've saved it, there's a possibility that maybe a prod might be all they need to be more interested.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, that looks like all the questions that we have this morning. Nathan, thank you again so much for taking the time to be here with us this morning. This has been really helpful to our members. Hopefully, if you haven't started using reverse prospecting already, hopefully this will encourage you to get in there and take a look at it, especially since we see now benefits for listing and selling agents with reverse prospecting. So thank you. Just a reminder, this Wednesday is HAR Engage, the HAR Engage conference. Nathan and I will both be there.
Absolutely.
So you can stop by and say hi, those of you who are attending. You can find the full schedule of speakers at engage.har.com. I would suggest, and by the way, Engage is sold out, but I would suggest going on there, taking a look at the speakers that are going to be there, plan out your day, and don't forget, in order to get the 6 hours of CE credit for the day, you do have to have the HAR app downloaded on your phone, and you have to be signed in. So make sure that you guys make sure that you have that available on your phone, ready to go, so that there's no waiting at registration to get signed in for your 6 hours of CE. All right. Well, thank you again, Nathan. Thank all of you as well. We will see you back next Monday at 9 a.m. Bye-bye.